What's up, everybody? Welcome to Storm Sessions. My name is Danny Enriquez, and we are here with the captain, Jasmyne Roberts. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Welcome back to the warm weather.
Yeah, for sure.
So last semester, it's like you're kind of having that feeling all college students have when the fun is winding down. How you feeling?
Yeah, I feel it's like a little bittersweet, I would say. Because it's like 4 years go by so quickly. So, I walked in my first class this morning. I was just like, wow, like this is it. Like it's the last lap. Like I'm on the wind down. So, I mean, it's definitely like bittersweet moment for me.
And it's so cool because like you are one of those that bleeds orange and green. So many people have been everywhere else, and that's just modern. That's how it is.
Yeah.
But you were like old school, been here since the beginning. What's that like?
Yeah, I mean, to look back at my last 4 years here, it's just like I made so many good memories. Like coming here as a freshman, and just seeing like the person I became like since that I was 18 years old. Now I'm 22. Just turned 22 on January 1st, by the way. So like,
happy birthday!
Just thank you. So just to see like the growth that I've made as a person, like I've done that here in one place, and so like this is like home to me.
So let's take it all the way back to the beginning, Jacksonville, Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
So athletic family, you're the youngest. So I'm playing with older kids. People who don't know, Champ Bailey, first ballot Hall of Famer, is a cousin. Shanice Bailey at who we know here at UM.
Yeah.
Cordy Williams, WNBA. So like it runs in the blood a little bit.
Yeah.
What was that like? Just being the youngest and being in such an athletic family?
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly a lot of fun because like I love to compete. So I was always the youngest in my family. And I would just see them doing things. It's like, I want to do it too. Like, I would compete with my older siblings. If they're outside playing, oh, I want to do it too. And I want to try to beat them. If it's my cousins, they're doing something. It's like, no, I want to do it too. And I want to try to win. So, like, I've just always had that competitive spirit to where, like, I wanted to win and just keep up with, everybody else that was older than me. So.
Yeah, your mom said that when you were like 7 months old, you wanted to walk so bad, you started walking.
Yeah.
They get you special shoes. Is that true?
Yeah, my mom. Yeah, she tells me that story all the time. She's like, you started walking so early, like we had to get you platforms like for flat feet or something like that. So
doing backflips in the pool, all that stuff, just being an athlete.
Just always athlete doing things.
When did you start? I mean, obviously within the family you're competing, but when did you start competing with other people and starting to see like, hey, I'm pretty good at this?
Yeah, so I want to say I was 7 years old. And I was just like looking to get into sports. And my dad, he bought me like one of those like basketball goals that just go in the house, like with the little plastic ball that the rubber ball or whatever.
Yeah.
And he got me that when I was like 5. So I was introduced to basketball really young. But then I was like 7. I was just like looking for a sport to play. And I was like, I want to play basketball. And then I thought about soccer too. And so I was like, and then I thought about softball. I was just thinking about other sports, but I really wanted to play basketball. And so my dad, he introduced me to this guy that was like starting this youth league called YBA, which is Yulee Basketball Association. And he was like, yeah, like it's just starting. There's only 4 teams. Oh yeah, and you're the only girl. And I was like, oh, I was just like, what? So yeah, I was the only girl, 7 years old, playing against like 11-year-old, 12-year-old boys, like, and I'm just like the smallest one out there. But I loved it. Like, it was so much fun. My dad was coaching me. My uncle was coaching me. My older cousin was on my team. So it was just like, I enjoyed it.
Do you think anything of it, like competing against boys, or was it just basketball?
No, like at first I did. I was like, oh, like, okay, it's all boys. But then I thought about it. I'm like, I do that at home anyways. Like when my cousins in Georgia, like I'm literally outside playing with the boys anyways, like playing basketball or football or whatever we're doing, riding bikes. So it's like, I'm always around boys anyway. So it's like, this is no different. Like I'm used to competing against guys. So once I got that out of my head, like I was there. Like I was hooping.
So tell me about Yulee, because Derrick Henry put it on the map a little bit. Now you're putting it on the map.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about Yulee?
Yulee, I mean, it's a very small town, but I mean, it's actually growing a lot now. But I mean, you don't have a lot of people who've come out of there and been like successful professional athletes. But I mean, there's a lot of talent in Yulee, like Derrick Henry, Heisman winner, about to be Super Bowl champ, hopefully, So it's just like, and it's me who, have had a great career here and looking to play pro as well. So like there's a lot of talent in Yulee.
So I'm sure you were probably a little bit of a Georgia Bulldogs fan growing up, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Family ties, right? So what, did you watch sports? Were you like a sports fan, or were you just wanting to play all the time?
I was a sports fan too. I mean, I played a lot more than I watched. I would say that, like, but I did watch. I was a Georgia football fan. I would say, like, up into, I mean, I'm still kind of a Georgia football fan, but I've rooted for Miami more like recently. But yeah, I mean, like that's what my family, like I would just watch what my family watched, and it was always Georgia football, you know, Florida Georgia game in Jacksonville every year, like such a big event. So like that's just something like a tradition that's in my family.
What else did you do besides playing sports, watching sports? I heard you were in the church choir. I don't know if that
Yeah,
was if you're singing
I was,
continued after
yeah.
that one or
I was in a church choir. I was like a usher, like the people who like go and like collect the money.
yep.
I did that with my grandmother. And then I love to ride four-wheelers, dirt bikes, ATVs. My family, like they have a lot of land in Georgia. So like any chance I would get on the weekends, like I was going to ride four-wheelers. Like my favorite thing is like when it rains, we would just go like mud bogging, we just like ride in the dirt and stuff. So I love things like that. Jet skiing too. My friend has some jet skis, so I would always want to do that. Like anything that's just like just moving around and just like doing things, I love to do that. So
So is that area, because I know you're by Jacksonville, is
yeah,
that would you consider it more country or city or
very, very, very country. Like it's a small town. It's called Folsom, Georgia. So it's like 45 to 50 minutes from Jacksonville. It's very like South Georgia, and it's super country. Like they don't even have Walmart. It's like Harvey's. Like you probably don't even know what Harvey's is, but it's Harvey's, Family Dollar. Like they don't have like a lot of things, but it's like that's where a lot of my family is. Like that's home to me too. So
you still
yeah.
got that country feeling even though you've been in the city for a little bit?
Yeah, I do. Like when I when I go back home, sometimes they're like, "Oh, like you're a city girl now. Like you live in Miami." But it's like, no, like I just code switch. Like I just code switch. Like when I'm here, I can be this person. When I'm there, I can be that. Like you know, I can code switch.
So, you know, growing up, now you're getting good. People are scouting you, right?
Mhm.
People are seeing you play. You're at Yulee High School.
Mhm.
How was that experience, and you know what led to the transition to Bishop Kenny?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like I had been playing in Yulee from the time I started up through middle school up to my freshman year of high school, and I mean, like it just, you know, like basketball in Yulee just like wasn't. It's not a priority in that town in that school system because they had never really had like a successful basketball program. They never really had that a person go through there with, you know, with like my caliber talent. And so it was just like they didn't put as much into the program or into a great coach and things like that. So you know, like my freshman year, it was kind of just like I was just out there playing, like, you know, I wasn't as like me personally, I hadn't really like recognized how great I was and like the steps I wanted to take as an athlete. So I mean, I was playing with people who like didn't really want to go to college. Like they were just there like after school activity, or you know, my coach was my science teacher, like stuff like that. So, you know, it was just kind of like, it wasn't the competition, the talent level just wasn't the same as like what I needed to be around to really make that big jump. So, that's why my mom, she put me into, you know, Bishop Kenny.
So now you're going from, you know, a little more country, a little more small town to Jacksonville, Catholic school. What was that whole transition like?
Yeah, it was really hard for me. I didn't want to go there, honestly. Like I really fought my mom on it. I fought my dad on it. I was like, they wear skirts every day. Like I don't want to wear a skirt every single day, like a plaid skirt. I don't like. I'm not even. I was like, I'm not even Catholic. Like like we're Baptist. Like why am I going to a Catholic school? Like I did everything I could to, you know, fight what my mom had literally already decided. Like she already paid for it, everything. So I was going, but the transition, it was pretty hard at first. Just trying kind of like being around a different culture, like different people that I just had never been around. Like going to mass on the first day of school, I didn't even know what mass was, or you know, just it was just really different. You know, a predominantly white school when I just wasn't used to being around that type of atmosphere. So it was a very difficult transition at first, but I would say like my teammates really helped me. My head coach, who like I love so much, I'm so thankful for. She helped me, and yeah, like that was probably the best decision that my mom could have ever made for me, honestly.
And on the court, what was that transition like? Now that you're doing something just to play basketball, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be pretty focused on what you're doing.
Yeah, I was really focused. My coach, she had us in the gym all the time. Like once I got to Bishop Kenny, my 10th grade, my sophomore year of high school, that was the first time I'd ever done a skill workout. Like because from 7 years old to what, about 14, 15, I was just playing. Like I didn't know people actually like did skill workouts like every day to train and hone their skills. I was just like so athletic and naturally talented where so like we would have these skill workouts and I'm like, oh, like like we're jumping through cones and we're putting up all these shots. I'm like, oh, okay. So like my game just made a big jump. Like I went from like just an athletic player with natural ability to like a really skilled player just in a matter of like 4 months. Like she really, like my high school coach really made me a much better player. And I was playing with people who also had aspirations to play in college as well. So the competition was better. The eager and the competitiveness to win was better. Like the camaraderie, like the culture, like it was just so much better than what I had come from because everybody really cared and, just wanted to win. We're focused. My high school coach did a really good job of just keeping us focused and disciplined. And so it was just a really big jump.
One thing your mom mentioned, by the way, was great to talk to. She said your spirituality also took a big jump around this time.
Yeah, it did. It really did. Even though I wasn't Catholic, I mean, it's mostly all the same. They all worship, our Lord and Savior. So, I did like we prayed a lot at school. I was in religion classes, and I really got to learn a lot about just like really in depth about religion. And I didn't even know there would be religion classes, but like I really actually that ended up being my favorite class, honestly. And so, going to mass, like just praying, like learning a different, just a different what would it be like a different side of religion, I guess I would say. And so that it did take a big jump.
One thing, is continued at Miami in high school, great grades, very focused on the academic part of it.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
It really comes from I'm scared to bring back bad grades home. Honestly, I was like terrified to ever have to like bring back a C to my mom. Like I was terrified of what that even would look like if I did that. But I'm just like I'm a really disciplined person and I do care about my grades. Like I'm really smart and so I struggled in math. My mom paid for me to get a math tutor. I would go to math tutoring every day after practice. I was already driving like 30 minutes from home to school and I would drive 30 minutes, another 30 minutes out my way to go to math tutoring every day. So like my mom really invested in me and just helped me get better at something that I really struggled at, which was, math. And so, but once I did that, like even my math grade went up. Like I went from almost having a C in my report card to like a B plus or A minus and stuff like that. So I really focused on my grades, not just being like just an athlete. Like I see myself as much bigger than that. So.
And then people are going to know that too here with this. So Georgia, which is your childhood favorite, close by, pretty close by, they don't show the interest that maybe you think you deserve based on your talent, right? And then Miami's here calling. What's that process like in terms of the recruiting?
Yeah, I mean, like Georgia honestly was my dream school. It really was because just like I grew up around it. I wanted to go there. I really did. But it's just like I feel like everything happens for a reason. I'm happy it didn't happen because it wasn't meant for me. And Miami, like they started recruiting me, Coach Fitz, Coach T Jack and Coach Blue, who those two aren't here anymore, but like they started recruiting me heavy. And just I felt like that was a school that really wanted me and that I could come here and just have a great career at. The team, the people that are around me, the culture, and most importantly too, Coach Katie Meyer, who obviously she retired last year, but that's who really like caught my attention. Like I really wanted to play for someone like her.
So you transitioned from Yulee to Bishop Kenny in Jacksonville. Now you're coming from Jacksonville down to Coral Gables. Yeah. What was that transition like?
Like I'm not gonna lie, like Miami there's no place like, there's no place in Florida like this. Like Miami is almost its own state, honestly, because it's like Jacksonville is so much more chill. Like everyone's easy going, which people here are easygoing too, but not everyone. But it's just like it's a completely different vibe. And so when I got to Miami, I was just like, wow, like I was just like I'm seeing people like pulling up in the school parking lot in a Ferrari or a Tesla. Like right. I'm just like, what? Like where am I? Like what is this? So it was a really big culture shock for me, honestly.
What did you like though about the city that drew you? I mean, obviously your coaching staff, basketball wise, you liked the fit. What was it about University of Miami that you liked?
The broadcast program, honestly. The broadcast program, just the opportunity that being here and having a degree from the U like would give me in my adulthood, my job life, whenever I do have to get a job, and just the city in itself, the campus, like everything was just so beautiful. And I was like, I would love to walk on this campus every day. Like even if I'm having a bad day, maybe I just lost the game, like I'm still gonna walk outside and see,
Yep,
see that. So it's
that's
like,
it.
yeah.
You mentioned broadcast journalism, which we talked about a little bit before the
Hmm.
show. The tradition here of, particularly in sports, right?
Hmm.
Sports journalists, female sports journalists that you see on Sports Center, on all these big
Yeah.
shows. Was that something that you kind of identified when you were doing your homework that, hey, this is something I could do?
Yeah, it really is. And I don't even know when I decided this is what I wanted to do. I think I was just like always watched like Sports Center and things like that. And I used to watch a lot with my brother. And so I was like, oh, like you're just talking about sports. Like you can be on camera on air and just like be yourself and like just show your personality and talk about something that you enjoy watching. So that's why I just decided to major in it. And then I learned that Miami had a really great program, like amazing studios. Like I'm taking classes and we're like in a huge production studio. And it's just like I saw that and I was like, wow, like, yeah, I want to do this. So
Yeah, when your pro career is done, you might be sitting in this seat. So
yeah,
I got to be
hopefully.
careful.
Hey.
Well, so on the court, what was that transition like?
On the court, that was difficult, I would say. Because I didn't realize how fast college basketball moved. Like you watch it on TV and you're like, okay, like those girls are running, like they're moving fast. And then you get like first day of practice or first day of summer workouts, and we're like that, like it was so I'm like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't keep up. It was so fast. Like get the ball up quick, run the floor. Like Coach K will always have us like doing all these fast drills. And so like I really did struggle that summer, just like finding out where I fit in on the team and just like not like learning to stop being afraid to mess up. Cause like I was just overthinking a lot. And so like I went from in high school being like this really swaggy, carefree player who would just like throw the ball behind her back, catch an alley off the rim, like, and just like tip it in. Like I was playing so free. And then like I came here and I kind of like went into a shell of just like feeling like I was like almost too small like to be here. And so like I had to really find like my confidence as a player throughout the transition.
When do you think you felt that confidence click for you?
I felt my confidence click after the summer. So after like the summer I first came in as a freshman, so I guess like that fall semester, I went back home after the summer and like I got in the gym with my trainer, Coach Nick. We got in the gym like, and he like I just got my confidence level up. Like I've learned who I was as a player. Like no, Jazz, like you can do these things. And so when I got back that fall, I started like finding my game, finding my rhythm, like hitting threes, like just being a more carefree player. And so that's when my confidence level, I would say, boosted. Like, and really started figuring out like my role and like what I can bring to a college team.
Was there a player that you grew up watching to kind of say like, want a little bit of that style, a little bit of this style? Anybody
Hmm.
you kind of modeled your game after?
Yeah, so I've watched a lot of for a women's side, I watched Maya Moore a lot.
Mhm.
I love Candace Parker's game, Skylar Diggins. Those are like three players who I really watched a lot. Of course, my cousin too, I watched her a lot. But on the men's side, my favorite player is LeBron James. Cause he can literally play like positions 1 through 5. And so like he just has a size advantage. And so I think like someone like me who I feel like I could play multiple positions as well and be useful on the court in so many different ways. So I like how his game is too.
So fast forward a little bit here to that. So we're in the tournament. Fast forward a little bit.
Hmm.
A year that's challenging in a lot of ways for you and your family,
Hmm.
and then on the court, Villanova game, like you are the hero of the school, the biggest win in
Yeah.
school history for women's basketball to this day. So I mean, and that was your show. I mean, it was a
Hmm.
team win, obviously, but
Hmm.
that was really a moment for you.
Yeah.
You know, just talking to your mom, the kind of the juxtaposition of having so much turmoil off the court, dealing with stuff at home, and
Hmm.
then having like the top of the success in athletics. What was that all like?
It was like, how do I put this? I was so focused. I was just like in such a different headspace at that time. Like I was so focused on basketball to a point where like I really like zoned out everything that was going on like on the outside. Like I honestly I didn't know the extent, sorry, excuse me. I didn't know the extent of like how sick my brother, like I really didn't know because like I like selfishly kind of like just zoned everything out. Like I was only focused on winning basketball games. Like I knew he couldn't be at the games because like he was sick at home, but like I really was just like so focused on what was going on because I cannot focus on multiple things. Like I'm no, like I like that's just me as a person. Can't multitask. Never been a multitasker. So it's like I just put all my focus into Villanova, or before that it was Indiana, before that it was Oklahoma State. Like I just was like one game at a time. And so that's what really like just helped me on the court stay focused.
And just, strictly the basketball side, what was that like with that win and how you
It
played?
was it was crazy. Like I literally think about that run like all the time. I go back and look at pictures, I look at videos. It's like I didn't realize at the time like how incredible that was, like, and how hard that is to do. Like it is so incredibly hard to do what we did, like beating a coming back what how did 17 points against a team to win, beating Indiana on their home court in front of 11,000 fans to win, then beating Villanova to win. I didn't realize how what we were doing was so like how amazing it really was until I look back at it now and I'm like, dang, like we really did that. And so like I still think about it to this day of like, wow, like we made history for this school, for this program. It had never been done before. And like I just was blessed to play a big role in it. But I mean, it was great.
So we talked a little bit about it, but with your brother ultimately passing, what did he mean to you and helping you become the person you are? And just who was he for those who never met him?
Yeah, so my brother, Chris Roberts, well, Christopher Roberts, he was like such a light, I would say. Like any room he walked in, he was just like lit it up. Like it would just light up. Oh, I just hit the mic. But I like this quote that my coach, she always tells me is like be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Like turn up. I think I said that right, but like, basically like be somebody who can like turn up the temperature. Like it gets warm when you walk in a room, and like that was him. Like he would just light up a room. Very funny, very charismatic. He was very like religious, deep in the Bible. He was a great singer. So like he was just like so people wanted to be around him because he just had that personality. Like I don't think I ever seen him frown. Like even when he was sick, like I never seen him get down on himself. Like so he was just a great person, and so he meant a lot to me. He would always call me after the games. Especially he started calling me more like when he was sick. Like we would talk on the phone more. He was just like, Chaz, like I watched the game. He would be like, sometimes he'd be like, hey, no, y'all like y'all need to pick it up. Like y'all wasn't looking that good today. Like you need to tell your coach to do this. Like he was always like trying to be a coach off the court to me. So like I really appreciate everything. And so whenever we beat Villanova, after the game, he sent me a video of like the reporters talking about our game and stuff, and he just sent me a video. He was like I'm really proud of you for like I'm happy for you, like you deserve this, stuff like that. So I always knew like he was able to see like the last like in the end of his life, like me be really successful in basketball. So like that means a lot.
And how do you feel his presence now with what you do in your life?
I feel it every day. His birthday was actually yesterday, so his 27th birthday would have been yesterday. And so I feel him every day. I think about him every day. I have him tattooed on my arm. Have a necklace pendant with his face on it. So like, I mean, he's still a big part of my life. I feel him. Like I feel like he's inside of me. His presence everywhere. So yeah.
And obviously, he's an inspiration to you. What inspires you to keep pushing when it's not easy what you do between the school and excelling there and the athletics? I mean, people see only the shots and the success, but they don't see every day and the routine you guys have. What pushes you to keep going?
Um, I would just say like my family. Like they pour so much into me. They've spent hours, pouring into me, whereas money, just time. And so like I really just think about them like I do it for them. I just want to make them proud. Like they always tell me how proud they are of me. Like my mom's always texting me like, I'm so proud you're my daughter. Like I love you so much. So like whenever it's hard, like I think of her, I think of my brother, think of my father, my siblings, just everybody who has like really poured so much into me, and like just making them proud and just making myself proud too. Like I feel like I didn't come this far just to come this far. So it's just like whenever I'm having a bad day, like I know I still have to, I have to get better. I have to keep pushing. I can't just walk away here with nothing and just go home. So it's just a self-motivation thing.
Now, On a lighter note, going through your Instagram, getting ready for this interview, I see a lot of pictures of like France and some of the trips you guys
Yeah.
took, been around. What was that like? Just again, Yulee, Florida. Now you're there with the Eiffel Tower. What's this whole
Yeah.
experience been like as far as seeing the world?
I mean, I was like when coach told us we were going to she said we're going to Paris. Oh yeah, we're going to Greece too and Mykonos. And I was like, what, like Greece? So I mean, just to like experience that, like it's such a blessing. Like it's a free trip out the country. Like I've never been out the well, I have, but like I've never been overseas to Europe before. Like that was all of everybody on the team's first time. So you're taking people who like have never experienced something like this before and giving them a chance to just see the world and also play. Like we played like 3 games there, but like nobody really cared about it. Like we were there on vacation. So I mean that was really cool. Yeah, we did go in the Eiffel Tower, but I think personally my favorite was Greece, 100%. Like it felt like spring break.
The
Like,
nice weather.
it felt like spring break. Like the water is so clear, like weather just warm. A lot of fun things to do. I remember like my coach, she was like, when we were leaving Greece to go like to Athens, we were leaving Mykonos to go back to Athens to play basketball. And she was like, all right, guys, like spring break's over. Like we got a game tomorrow. Like get ready. So it was really fun.
One thing, just looking at this team, obviously you're from Florida,
Mhm.
right? Different part of Florida, not South Florida. Then you got, women from the West, right?
Mhm.
The Northeast, the Midwest. What's it been like with so many different cultures and experiences on one team?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. I would say like we are a part of from different places around the map, but I feel like helps us. It brings us closer, like bringing all our differences and just our different viewpoints and different experiences and putting them all together and on a team. It's been really fun. Like we have a very fun team. Like we all get along, we all laugh together. It's really good vibes on the team.
You could tell just like watching you guys.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. So pros next step, whether it's here, whether it's abroad, where, that's the goal. Once basketball's done, you mentioned broadcast journalism. What's like a ideal career for Jasmyne?
The ideal career broadcast. Okay, so if I'm doing broadcast, I would love to do it in a city like Houston, somewhere in Texas, maybe North Carolina, maybe even New York. Like those are 3 places where I really want to live. You know, maybe like Sports Center or like something like that. Like I think big. Like anytime I think big. So I could just see myself doing that. Sideline reporting for an NBA game, something like that, or a WNBA game, anything like that.
Was there anything like that you've done in class? Because that's usually I don't ask this question because class can get kind of boring, but your major is kind of fun. Like anything, in any project or something you did in class that you're like, wow, that was pretty cool.
I would say the coolest class I took was this production class. I don't remember what number, like if it was like 445 or something like that, but it was a production class where we literally like produced a show. And so we did, I was able to learn like the production side of it where we have to like direct the show. And I hated that. I don't want to be a director at all. It's too much stress. Like my nerves get bad. Like the AD technical director, the sound. I learned like all of that in the production part. And then I was also able to like be on camera too, work teleprompter. So like I really got a lot of hands-on experience. And no, I don't want to be in a production. I don't want to be back there. But it did make me like realize that like everybody's job is important to make the show roll and to make the show go. So it made me, I guess, appreciate their like what those jobs are and those roles are. But ultimately, it made me realize how much I do want to be on camera.
Now, you've been playing women's basketball at a time, just talking about multimedia and just all this kind of stuff, where women's basketball, both college and pro, it feels like something's happening. Just the athletes have always been great, but the attention, sort of the different opportunities available, for female basketball players. What's that been like to be in college, participating in it, playing big time college basketball when it's kind of blowing up?
Yeah, it's really nice to see. I would say like about time. Like it's about time. Like for real. Because there's been like so much talent even in the past, but it's just like women weren't given the same television rights, women's games, or just like the same opportunity as men's basketball. And I would say like it happened at a great time because like now, because you have the WNBA growing as well, and so it's like a tunnel and it's like a funnel through from like college to the pros. And I honestly think from the 2023 Final Four, like with the Caitlyn and Angel thing, and like that was when we made it to Elite Eight too. Like I think that really made everybody pay attention to what the work of which like women's basketball is. Like, yeah, people were watching, but I think that really made people like tune into everything there is to offer, and just now it's blowing up. Like you have NIL deals, you got players making millions of dollars, and it's just like it's nice to see because we deserve it.
Absolutely. So we've got some questions here from the fans.
Okay.
So we kind of touched on this a little bit, but Beyond Billboard Material wants to know what motivates you on and off the court.
What motivates me on and off the court? Definitely my family, God, to and just myself. I guess like just I'm very self-motivated and I just want so much for myself. I'm deeply afraid of mediocrity. Like I just know like the life I want to live, and I know that what I need to do to live that life that I want. And so I just like I'm very self-motivated to go after what I want in life.
Elizabeth Tupikin wants to know, what's your lucky pre-workout routine?
Lucky pre-workout?
Let's say pre-game too.
Pre-game, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because I'm like pre-workout, I just be walking in the workout sometimes. Like I do a little stretch and then I hop in. But I would say pre-game ritual. Okay, I'll just go through what I do during the game, before game. So I usually wake up. We'll have like I'll get treatment and then we'll have shoot around for like an hour. Do my pre-game meal, eat that, watch film. And then I have to take a shower. Like I take a shower before every game. Even if we don't have shoot around, like I'm just waking up to go to eat and stuff. Like I still have to take a shower. Like it's just something I have to do. Then I'll read my like daily Bible scripture, and I'll just like meditate a little bit, like get my mind right and ready for the game. Like positive self-talk, stuff like that. And then I'll just listen to some music. Like after I calm my mind down, then I'll like turn up. Then I start listening to like rap, hip hop, stuff like that. Just get myself in that mode. And then I hit the court, hit my stretches, and that's it.
I was going to ask you about the music because some people like, listen to gospel or R&B to kind of calm down. Some people come up with the music. So what kind of music particularly is in the playlist?
I listen to a mix of Rod Wave. That's my favorite artist. So it's like usually in my head it's Rod Wave. You got some Lil Baby, NBA YoungBoy, Drake. Those are the main four that I listen to. So it's like it's a mix because Rod Wave, all his music isn't like all happy go lucky. It's like sometimes it's a little sappy, but then it's like, oh, I got Lil Baby, he's more excited. So it's like a mix of things.
Got you. So Julius 3766 asking about where you're from. We talked about it a little bit, but just, for those who have not been to Yulee, like what are the people like? Like, what's the vibe like?
Yeah, it's very country for one. Very, very country. Not as much like dirt country as like what I was explaining to Georgia, but it's more just like, it's just country. Actually, like I don't even know no other way to put it. But it is a little like they are building a lot more now. So like you have like a lot of you have some buildings coming up and just like more lanes, more traffic, but like at the end of the day, like it's still very country.
Okay. Been around the world as part of it.
Yeah.
So Lou 8988 asking, do you self-assess your skills while playing? So I take the question as kind of like, while you're playing, are you thinking about what's going on? Like, are you just kind of going off instinct after all your preparation? Like, what's it like mentally in the game?
I would say I do prepare mentally before the game because we watch a lot of film. So like usually I know what a team is gonna their defensive scheme is gonna be, but I don't know how they're always gonna play me. Like they could scout me, stuff like that.
Don't give away the scouting report on here.
No, for real. You're right. I'm giving away too much, talking too much. But yeah, so I would say I like to let the game come to me. Like I'll figure out what the defense is doing and I'll just try to make a read and just figure out, okay, like how can I score today? Because like I know they're gonna play me a certain way, and so maybe it won't be as easy for me to get to the rim as much as I can against another team. So okay, I'm gonna have to shoot the 3-ball more, or I'm gonna have to get to my pull-up jumper more because maybe like there's stuff in the rim, they're all colliding the rim. So that's just something like I figure out throughout like as the game goes on. Like so there's some games where I might not score score in the first quarter because I'm still trying to figure it out for myself. Like, but then that's when like you have the rest of the game, second, third, and fourth quarter, where I like, okay, like I'm adjusting now. Now I know how to, have a great game.
Has that changed as you've gotten older?
Yeah, it has. It has changed. It's honestly even changed a lot this season for me. Like because I've had like some droughts where like I'll score like 16 points and I'll get like 8, and I'll have like 19 and I'll have like 4. Like it's just been kind of like up and down for me. And I think that's just like it's making me mature a lot on the court, I would say. Just learning how to adjust my game as a player, realizing, okay, like if the defense is taking something away from me, I have to figure out another way to be valuable to my team, whether that's rebounding, whether that's just playing amazing defense, because maybe it's just not my day to score. But I mean, I know my team needs me to score to win, so I just have to figure out different ways to, put the ball in the rim. And so that's what I'm still figuring out right now. But I think as conference play has started, I've really like started to figure it out more and get in a better rhythm.
One thing we didn't talk about, Coach Katie retires, right? You are Miss Orange and Green, but I'm sure a ton of schools are coming after you, trying to get you to transfer. What was that like?
That was so stressful. Katie retiring, like she just blew up my life a little bit. I love her though. I love her so much. But yeah, that was really shocking to me. It was like stressful too a little bit because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was torn between, staying or leaving. There were schools who wanted me, of course, and I really didn't want to have to leave here. Like that was like my last like resort. If like everything else went to hell, like I was like, okay, I'll leave. But like that really wasn't what I wanted to do. And so that's why I was just kind of playing the waiting game. Like all my teammates, literally my best friends, they all went to the portal. They all left, and I was just like, no, like I'm just gonna wait. Like I'm gonna see who the coach is. Like I at least owe that. Like I at least owe that to myself to wait. And so I just had to be very patient during that time and just kind of figure out, okay, like see who the coach is, then make my decision then. So it was a difficult time.
Well, I know Canes fans are happy you stuck around. Now you're the captain. What does that mean to you to be not just, a symbol of this program who's been around, been to the highest points of this program, but now you're the captain, new woman in the program, and you're in a leadership spot?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like they say, like, heavy is the head that wear the crown, like it's a lot every day. It's a lot of pressure because it's like I can't worry about myself every day. Like I have to just check myself before I walk in the door, walk through the gym and be like, okay, Jazz, like whatever you got going on, like you got to put that behind you until practice is over. Like my coach always says, like the captain, you can never have a bad day. Like you really can never have a bad day at practice because the team goes as I go and as the other captains go. So, it's a lot, but I've really enjoyed it. Just like having that voice on the team, like really just stepping into being a leader. Not just leading by action, but also just leading with my voice more and just speaking up about things. Being able to come to my coaches about things where my teammates are feeling too, like kind of just like the bridge between them. So, yes, it's been a lot for me, and it has been, a lot at times, but it's rewarding, and I enjoy being a leader on the team.
Well, I know Canes fans are ecstatic that you stuck around to lead this program. Yeah. Canes fans, please like and subscribe to this show on the official Canes All Access YouTube channel, also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, major podcast platforms. Jazz, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.